I'll pick Ronaldo. Yeah, and I think people have to get away from the fact that it doesn't matter how skillful people are or how much amazing skills. George Best was an extremely skillful player. That doesn't mean he's better than Pelé. I'll pick Pelé over George Best. So I think we have to move away from the fact that basically Ronaldo's come to England, the Premiership, the hardest league, and he's banging in goals like it's for free. And Messi can't even score a goal in France.
Even before he got to France, he wasn't really tearing it up anymore for Barcelona.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Lewandowski consistently, for all those seasons, keeps banging in 30-yard, 40-yard goals, and he still can't win the Ballon d'Or to get to these meetings. And I remember the very first meeting I walked in Daventry, and I walked in and there were about 350 delegates there. And I looked around and I was thinking, where are the people of colour?
Affinity Extra, be extra.
The views and opinions expressed in this podcast are personal and do not necessarily represent the views of Affinity Extra.
Yeah, guys, this is your boy here, Roger Moore here on Affinity Extra, here to celebrate gospel music of black origin. But most of all, we're talking about pure sports right about now, sports from a black man's perspective. And yes, it may be controversial, you may not like it, but not even black footballers to give a black man's perspective right about now anyway. So yeah, apart from Patrice Evra, I had a laugh with him yesterday, you know what I mean, him and Henry having it out, and Evra explaining that his little boy is getting battered at Old Trafford. The reason why I can go on bossy is because obviously Man United boast up Arsenal, you know what I mean, but it's not because we were too great anyway still, yeah. But I'm alongside Marcus and Lance. Now Lance I known for a while, but we'll get into that anyway, so you guys, we'll get into life story and all this business in a bit anyway still, yeah. But the key thing is, guys, you know, I want to get straight into it, guys, you know. Right, Ollie's out. I'm gonna start with Man United. Sorry guys, it's not the Man United show, but we want to just get out of the way because we're gonna end up here anyway still, yeah. And then I want to talk about what's something that's pertinent to Marcus. I'm gonna ask him a question, yeah, because I saw some headlines, but we deal with this Liverpool stuff afterwards. But putting out there, guys, I'm not happy about how we're playing, but results are results. That's where I'm at with that anyway still, yeah. I don't know if Lance, as a fellow Man United fan, is that where you at right as well, bro?
Yeah, for real. I actually said way back in the summer that United should make the change then. But unfortunately, the same thing that happened with Mourinho, history repeated itself with Ole. And what I mean by that is Mourinho stunk the place out at Old Trafford. Then he went and won the Europa League.
Yeah.
So of course, he's gone back to the board and said, "Look, I've delivered. I want a new contract," which he does everywhere where he's a manager. And United lost the Europa League final, but it was such big progress since Mourinho stunk the place out that they gave him a new contract, and I could not understand for the life of me why they gave him a 3-year contract, because he'd reached his level. The man started to make substitutions in the Europa League final in the last 2 minutes. Like that's supposed to change anything. So, yeah, in terms of results and stuff, if I'm honest, whenever a manager normally gets sacked and then somebody takes over, whether it's for 1 game, 2 games, 3 games, you always get a reaction from the players.
Yeah.
So I expected us to beat Arsenal yesterday. 3 weeks ago, I wouldn't have expected us to beat Arsenal. I expected us to beat Villarreal, and I was disappointed that we didn't come away with 3 points against Chelsea.
Okay.
Even Floyd Hasselbank said, I watched the interview after, he said, we had 24 shots, but they only scored 1. So we can get carried away with stats. Oh, we had this much possession. That many shots. I mean, nothing if you don't win the match.
Yeah,
and if Fred hadn't tried to do a Cantona and pass the ball to the man who was near to him, we'd have nicked that game as well. It would have been 3 victories out of 3. So last 3 games, massive improvement.
I think Lance got something off his chest there, Marcus.
It definitely sounds like it, doesn't it?
No, this is, guys, by the way, this is great mental health for men as well. To get these things off his chest. If we just bottle it up, it just kills us off. But no, I totally agree with you there, bro. Marcus, what's your, are you as concerned as Klopp with the new manager?
Are you talking about your manager?
Yeah.
You know, the thing that is for me, it's like Lance said, it doesn't matter what team you are. When a new manager comes in, everybody wants to impress. And even if, even in the whole thing of Carrick taking over, I think the guys were trying to still make a statement because they knew somebody was on their way in as well. So I think time will really kind of tell, given a few weeks when the dust has settled, the hype has kind of like come at the media. Yeah, man. What impact this really had in terms of the players, the manager and stuff like that, because we all know that United are not playing at the level that we associate with a United club. So I mean, time will tell. I mean, in all fairness, the manager for me is a good manager. I know a lot of people have got their thoughts about it. I think he's a good manager. He's got a good reputation. He's done stuff. So I think time will tell. He's definitely a better option than what you had there before. So you definitely got up. So we'll see what happens.
No, definitely cool. Now, before we move on to the other subjects, now this week, this is the debate of all debates. You know, when you have LeBron James versus Michael Jordan debates every week, we have to go back to the Messi and Ronaldo debate now. We gotta listen. I have to regurgitate this up because Messi is flopping in France. Come on, guys. You know what I mean? He is flopping. Yeah. Also, Ronaldo has scored over 800 goals, of which his first 3-4 seasons he was on the wing, and technically he was on the wing at Real Madrid. He was saying that's when it started to do a similar situation as but yeah, effectively he was on the wing. You know what I'm saying? So for me, he only really became a striker in the latter part of his career. How on earth do you score 800 plus goals? Yeah, but yet Messi's seen as a better baller. Now, as far as I'm concerned, Ronaldinho can do more skills than Ronaldo. But if I was picking a baller, I'll pick Ronaldo. Yeah, and I think people have to get away from the fact that it doesn't matter how skillful people are or how much amazing skills. George Best was an extremely skillful player. That doesn't mean he's better than Pelé. I'll pick Pelé over George Best. So I think we have to move away from the fact that basically Ronaldo's come to England, the Premiership, the hardest league, and he's banging in goals like it's for free. And Messi can't even score a goal in France. But anyway, sorry. I don't know, guys. I'm just letting off some steam myself anyway. So, but it cheeses me off this whole debate. Now, Ronaldo's just proving time and time again, at the age of 36, he's a beast. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm gonna throw it out. You know what I mean? Guys, am I just going off on a tangent that Messi is still the greatest? Because they're treating Messi as the greatest of all time, and he just got the Ballon d'Or. And I'm like, really?
That surprised me. That actually really did surprise me when I saw that he won it. I'll tell you why, because I've been saying from the longest time, the whole Messi Ronaldo thing for me, it shouldn't even be a debate. I've always said to people, I would like to see Messi leave Barcelona and see what he'll do elsewhere, because Ronaldo's gone everywhere. Do you know what I'm saying? He's done it in England, he's done it in Spain, he's done it in Italy. I feel that you could literally put Ronaldo in any team in the world right now and you're going to see a difference. Even at his age, because he showed that he can still do it in the Premiership. So for me, it's never been a debate. The other thing we got to take in consideration as well is that Messi I don't think he was ever going to flourish in the same way at PSG, because at PSG he's one of 3-4 top attackers. Where in Barcelona he was the guy. All the ones that we would talk about were all midfielders behind him, with Xavi's, the Iniestas, the Busquets. But in terms of the attacking person, he was the guy. But at PSG you've got Mbappe, you've got Neymar, you've got some of them other young guys coming up. So he was always gonna have to. And don't forget, Mbappe is a beast. He's old, right? And so is Neymar. You know what I'm saying? So if you think you're going to walk into a PSG like that and still be the boss, I think you was always fooling yourself. But again, Ronaldo has proven himself everywhere he's been, and not just at club level, international level, which Messi, it's only recently he started to show what he could do in that. Really, he hasn't really done nothing for Argentina. So I think there's no debate. I'm not a United fan, but I'm giving that to Ronaldo all day.
Okay, Lance, what's your perspective on this one?
Well, you know what? And I concur, by the way, I concur. When I saw that Messi had won it,
yeah, man,
there's something fundamentally wrong here because of everything what you've both said about his time in France, and even before he got to France, he wasn't really tearing it up anymore for Barcelona.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Lewandowski consistently for all those seasons keeps banging in 30-yard, 40-yard goals, and he still can't win the Ballon d'Or. Now, something came to my attention the other day, which it's just me being a cynic now, made me think that Messi was going to win this regardless. So here's my thought. The Ballon d'Or is a French-led award. Messi leaves Barcelona and goes to play in the biggest team in France, PSG. So
coincidence.
Cynicing me saying he was always going to win it because he's gone to PSG. But I believe, and I've had this debate with people many times when they've said the same thing to me, Messi or Ronaldo, and I give the same as what you've said, which is Messi's done it in Italy.
Yeah, man.
He's done it in twice now in the Premier League. Twice now, second season of his career in the Premier League. Done it in Spain, ripped it up in Spain. And I respect Messi. Don't get me wrong. I respect Messi as a player.
Boy, yeah.
He's one of the best of all time. But for me, Ronaldo edges it based on the fact that he hasn't just stayed in Spain with the Galacticos.
Yeah, no, 100%, man. And I've guys, as you said there, the stats are there, you know, and you know what made it absolutely, I have to use the word mockery when you look at 800. Listen, guys, 800 goals. They turned around and said, they checked. I was listening to somebody today, and they were commentating. I can't remember who it was, and they said, how many goals did Shearer score in his career? He didn't even reach 400 goals.
No, he
and
didn't.
you know what I'm saying? And then they go, what about Van Nistelrooy, you know what I mean, 340. So you know what I mean, so it's 800 goals and you're getting treated like you may not be better than Messi. It's disrespectful. That's where I'm at anyway. Still with that one anyway. Still, yeah. Sorry guys,
I agree with that 100%. I mean, in terms of Ballon d'Or, I would have given that to Salah ahead of him, and I'm not just saying that as a Liverpool fan, but
we'll get to that. No, for me, Kante. You know what I'm saying? What is Kante's too small?
It doesn't have to be an attacker. Yeah,
Kante is too small and too dark, because if he had long hair like Modric, they'll give it him. You know what I'm saying? And ultimately, still, yeah. If he wasn't so dark and had a more Latino face and whatever they're still called Cantinho, he would have got it already. You know what I'm saying? Everyone's talking about Jorginho, but we had to show his guys. I've seen Kante basically run things. As a midfielder, I love to, well, not so much me, I'm more like a Kante type player. But anyway, you know, when you got them ballers, you want to be next to Kante. Pogba wants to play next to Kante. That's the only time you see him as a baller. Why is that? Because Pogba's good? No, because Kante is an excellent baller to be with. He's box to box and he's a Makaleli in one. Like, you can't beat that, you know what I mean? And he's won the Champions League as well. You know what I mean? And I'm thinking, you know what? Evidence is there. You know what I'm saying? Lewandowski, yes, but you have to say Bayern Munich, that team's another level in that league, you know, guys. It's straight. They got, you know, when right, Lance, you're a striker now, yeah? At your peak, if you were chucked up front and Kevin De Bruyne was putting the through ball to you, how many goals could you score in a game? You could score. You're saying, you know, Beckham crossing. Sometimes the team around you make you score more goals, you know what I'm saying, whatsoever. And I'm not saying Lewandowski is a terrible baller, but when he plays for Poland, as far as I'm concerned, you know what I mean, he can't lift that team because he's not total type of baller. Messi, he can't lift that team. But I've seen Ronaldo pull up Portugal, pull up whatever team he's in. Even when he beat Atletico Madrid with Juventus, he told them, I will score to win this game. You know, when you look in someone's eyes, he just knows. So for me, it's there, man. But that's my viewpoint today. But
you know what, that point that you just made there about Messi not picking up the team and stuff. I think that's the other issue for me, just going so slightly touching back on the whole Ronaldo thing. That even on the international level, Messi's had some ballers in Argentina, you know. There's been some ballers around him, and he's still not been able to do the thing.
Higuain, you had oh Lord,
Di Maria and all them
Aguera, Mascherano, you know what I'm saying? You know me, Tevez was in the team, innit? He was in the team when Tevez is there. So that you know me. No mugs, bro. No mugs at all. But talking about greatest in the world, we're talking about the greatest Ballon d'Or-ish kind of talk anyway, yeah? Somebody, I saw in my highlights, Salah as the best player in the world right now. Marcus, can you please justify this to me? Because I still can't see Salah even in my top 5.
All right, let's put it into you have to look at it the right way. If you're talking about the best player in the world overall, no, it's not him. If you're talking about current form, it is him. And the reason I say that is, and I'm not even just saying that because for me, most of the time when people talk about best players, majority of the time it is an attacker. Occasionally you'll see a midfielder there, but that midfielder has to be exceptional to the levels of like the Iniestas, the Xavis, the Pirlos, them kind of players. But most time we're talking about an attacker. And if you're talking about consistently week in, week out, both in the league that he's playing in as well as Champions League, whatever, who's on better form than him right now? So in the aspect of form, I would agree. But in terms of saying like he's the best player in the world in general, no, I wouldn't say that.
So guys, quick, here's another one. Sorry guys, we're gonna drag out this Ballon d'Or because the Ballon d'Or's just created more issues. Yeah. Now, this is my thing is, and there's evidence for this. Van Dijk. Yeah. Now, Van Dijk, Liverpool before he was injured, Liverpool was in this. You couldn't get. Listen, he was taking a mick. He felt like that. You know when me as a defender, when you got the pace and you're playing against slow players, it felt like he's playing against slow, physically weak players all the time, and he's just like just knocking people all over the place. He gets injured. Liverpool doesn't flop, but Liverpool is not as strong without him. You know what I mean? Salah's out the team, Liverpool can still score goals, got Mane, whatever there, so yeah. Van Dijk without him. Also, Holland totally flopped for me internationally the moment that Van Dijk went out, and when he came back for the qualifiers after the Euros, they look a different team now. Bang, 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 whatever. That's why isn't he on the radar? You know what I'm saying? And for me, which player? If tomorrow one player goes to Real Madrid, which one would you rather, Van Dijk or Salah? Marcus.
That's interesting. I'll tell you something though. History tells us about the UEFA award, FIFA award, Ballon d'Or, whatever it is. It's always the how can I describe it? It's always generally the scorers, the creators, get the accolades. And this is why I believe it should be categorized for each position. So if you categorize for each position, Van Dijk hasn't got many people who are on his level right now. You see what I'm saying? And then there are good centre-halves out there. There are quality centre-halves out there. You've only got to look at Chelsea at the moment and Man City. But then it's a team thing as well. It's not just one defender that makes such a difference. But I agree with you, Roger, there that Van Dijk, the loss of Van Dijk was huge to Liverpool. But in fairness to Liverpool as well, when Van Dijk was out, there was times when they had Matip out, they had Joe Gomez out. There's 3 straight away.
We had Henderson at the back for one point.
And they had Henderson playing at the back. I laughed at that when I saw that. I thought, there's no way that we're not scoring against these with Hendo playing at the back. So I definitely agree about Van Dijk. I think he's he should be up there for the Ballon d'Or.
Yeah, no.
I think the other thing I would say, I mean, it's not totally in line with the Ballon d'Or still, but I think the biggest problem Liverpool had when Van Dijk did come out, it's the only time where I've seen Klopp like managing, and I'm thinking, what are you doing? Because when Van Dijk went out, even before the other guys started getting injured, I think I said in another one of the podcasts that he played, I think he had about 6 different centre-back pairings going on. So there's no chance to build chemistry between the two that come in. Because even if you know that you've got your best defenders out, if you can have a two and they know week in, week out, these are the two, you know, they can work to each other, they read each other's game, they understand how it plays. But if, like you're saying, you know, 1 week I'm going to play Gomez, then I'm going to take Gomez out, even if he's fit, put Matip in. Then the following week I'm going to take this guy out and bring in one of the young guys in. It's like, you're asking for trouble anyway. You're already weakened as it is. We're asking for trouble if you don't just get two people and say, look, that's you guys, and then I'll just work the others around you based on what happens.
No, 100%, bro. 100%. I'm trying to look at the list of the players of the Ballon d'Ors, because I know Lionel Messi was top, then it was Lewandowski. Who was third? Oh, Lord.
I don't know.
I know Ronaldo was fifth. Yeah, so he fifth, and it's just an absolute goal machine anyway. So yeah, but no, guys, I totally agree with it. And guys, you know what? Being the best Ballon d'Or, it's not the be all end all, but you know what? Still, yeah. But I do feel sorry for like Lewandowski and certain players like that, and Van Dijk, and you know, as he said, you know, for me, Van Dijk, I feel that if the Ballon d'Or maybe happened last year and he was still fit, there was no, if he wasn't in the top player, everybody knows the difference he makes. Impact wise anyway, so yeah, but people don't go on about him.
It was Jorginho that was third.
That's it, third. Yeah, that's
Jorginho,
it. Jorginho.
yeah.
Listen, guys, Jorginho misses 2 crucial penalties for Italy, ends up being third. I don't know if you've seen that, Lance. Yeah, he's cost Italy their position in the World Cup potentially by missing 2 penalties away to Switzerland. Sorry, get off, man. He should be down the bottom. And again, how on earth is Jorginho, 1 5-yard passer, and he scores a few penalties, gets it above he's above Kante? I don't know, you know what I mean? But again, he's darker than the average bear, and Kante is, and he doesn't really get.
I'm looking at the list now, and like, the whole listing just seems a bit suspect to me. I don't understand how
go.
Donnarumma, who's the head of Haaland, that made no sense to me.
Yeah, Haaland's a beast.
Yeah.
Makes no sense to me whatsoever. So
It almost becomes I think it's the press that votes for it or something like that. So I think it's some press thing in it. So yeah,
it kind of looks like they've chosen the top 2 or 3, and then they've just decided to throw the rest in there wherever they decide to do it. Yeah,
just a voting thing, guys. Absolute voting thing. But yeah. But overall, Marcus believes that Salah's on form, but he's not one of the greatest in the world. So we just put it out there like that. Yeah. You call that soundbite, Marcus?
I said he's not the best in the world. I didn't say he's not one of the greatest in the world. Right now, he's one of the best in the world in terms of like as an attacking player. But I definitely wouldn't say he's the best.
Okay. No. Oh, that's cool. But listen, we got I don't want to focus too much on the Premiership because me and Auntie did a bit of a roundup anyway. Still on that, for last week, and so far so good. It's just an interesting one, guys. Chelsea's top, Man City second, Liverpool's third. You happy with that, Marcus?
It's still early days. Yeah, I'll take third for now.
And then there's
only like 1 point in it. Or
yeah,
like that,
2 points.
Close.
Yeah, it's tight, man. It's tight. The funny thing is, Man City's taking the mick, guys. I believe they're just taking the mick. They ain't got a striker, and they're in that position. It's they're absolutely just taking the mick with people. But do you think Man City can do it this year?
Of course, it's Man City. Man.
I think Man City are going to go back for a striker in January. I may be wrong, but I think he's going to look at that squad coming up to Christmas when we get through that mad Christmas period. See where the dust settles after that Christmas period, because that normally is a big indicator of how things are going to pan out. So they may well go back in the transfer market, because the rumor has it is Kane wants out in January. Now, if I was the Tottenham hierarchy, I would say they want him that bad. The fee is £110 million, because Conte wants money to rebuild, and Spurs are not a Man United with the flow of hundreds of millions that are being spent on squads every year. So for me, they should take the money. He's not happy there. Take the £110 million and invest that back into the whole squad. But that's just my thoughts on that.
Is Kane done, man? I think it's done, bro. Because, bro, he scored one goal.
I don't think it is. I think it's just it's
one goal
like
scored, you know.
For me, it's the reverse of what we were saying when a new manager comes in, the players up their game. I think it's the reverse of that, where once a player's mind is gone, I think you'll see the difference in terms of his performance. He's been wanting to leave Tottenham, not just this season, like even before now. And I think, but now this season, he's like, where he reaches pinnacle, he's like, you know what, I'm done. And he probably just feels messed about. He's not going to come out and say it because he's still getting his wages. But I think he's probably clocked out, and he's just speaking to his agent behind the door, looking to say, look, find me somewhere, because he wants to win. He wants to win trophies. Let's not get it twisted. I mean, Kane for Tottenham, he's like a Gerrard for Liverpool. Do you know what I'm saying? I couldn't be mad at Gerrard if he had decided he was going to go to Chelsea when they came in for him. Because they were winning, and he was a top player that wanted to win trophies. And I think Kane's at that point where he's like, you know what? I've been for season after season, I was banging goals, getting whatever. We weren't winning nothing. If I could go and do that same thing, so I think he's just clocked out. I don't think he's done. I just think he just needs to go to get that kind of new lease of life by going to a new team.
Now I feel that. I feel on that one. But I just think Kane. He's looking. I see him one of ones. I see him looks dead right now.
I think as well. If that does happen, and Man City say, let's just try again, and they get Kane within that system that Manchester City play, and you mentioned him before about a creator, De Bruyne, who's got that brain to see the runs, to see the movement. You would see Kane move up under the stratosphere in terms of goal scoring. Because Man City creates so many chances. My goodness me. I think that would give them the edge to retain the title.
That would be just not fair. But, you know, and
imagine that though. De Bruyne and Bernardo Silva behind Kane, just pulling the strings. That's just.
But going back to the, like, even watching Man City versus PSG, you could see if Man City had Mbappe, they would have been 5-0 at half time. They just have all the play, but they don't. If PSG was a bit more savvy and Neymar took that chance when he rounded everybody, it could have been a different game. But again, they just need that killer touch in the 6-yard box, you know what I mean? And it's just that guy, you know, you see the likes of, and sometimes we belittle the guy in the 6-yard box, we belittle the Andy Coles, we belittle the Gary Linekers, we belittle the guys who can operate in that small area. But the thing is, Man City need that type, with the balls that Kevin De Bruyne puts in, you need that ball that can predict it. Sterling, he looks like he's getting a bit of a patch at the moment, but I still always said that he's not a finisher. And I said that before they got knocked out in the Champions League 2 seasons ago. I said to my Man City friend, Sterling can't finish. He laughed at me. I said, he can't finish. You know what I'm saying? He cannot finish. If you get 50 chances and score 20 goals, you're no good. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm not no good, but you're Andy Cole for me. You know, Andy Cole's Andy Cole. You know, you take 1 out of 3 chances. But if you're Shearer, bro, you don't want that thing to land to them because he just takes them every single time, you know? So, you know, that'd be very, very, very messy. But on the last note, in terms of the Premiership, guys, what's shocking me now? What's going on at the bottom? How's you feeling about Newcastle, guys? Is your heart troubled about Newcastle? Or you know what I mean? Are you feel what's going to happen at you're looking at your reserves and thinking they're going to all go Newcastle?
You know what? I've been keeping a close eye on Newcastle. I've got a friend who's a Newcastle supporter, and he has been for years. I think they're in free fall back to the Championship.
Wow, they're the richest club there, mate.
If you look at the points now, coming up to that season, they haven't got the strongest of squads. They haven't got the quality in depth. So if they have 3 or 4 injuries over this Christmas period, they're in deep trouble. Now, you need a settled squad, but you need. Fergie used to say you need 2 positions you need 2 players for every position.
Yeah.
Newcastle hasn't got that, so they're on this run now where it's similar to how Man United was the last few games. You don't actually believe when you go out you're going to win a match.
Right. Yeah.
And even if they bought in 6 or 7 players in January, we've only got 3 months to turn that around. I think that's a big ask. I really do. And I think they're doomed back to the Championship. But saying that, I don't think that will be a bad thing. They won't be able to attract the players, the Hollywood players that their money can buy. But it's a rebuild. Newcastle is a rebuild that needs to happen. And if it doesn't happen, it won't happen in the Premiership. I think it will start to happen in the Championship, because I think they're a championship level football team right now.
Yeah, I'm backing down 100%. I'm just thinking, if I was a Newcastle fan and, you know, I took out any biases from that, I probably would want to go down. And the reason I say that is agreeing with what you said. I think right now, because, okay, teams want to stay in the Premiership because of the money that the Premiership funds. Right now, Newcastle are in a position where they've just been bought by people that have money, so they don't actually need to stay in the Premiership for this season. I think if they go down, like you said, it takes off the pressure of having to be in the Premiership and win games and all that kind of stuff. They can go to the Championship, rebuild, and that's the other thing as well. I would keep their current manager, even though I'm surprised they chose him. I would keep their current manager and say, you know, let's go down. Not accept they're going down, but if we go down, keep our manager, give him the time to build for this season in the Championship. And I'm not even talking about bringing in star players. I'm talking about just building a solid base that you could build off of. You know, buy players that are cheaper, but you know, that buy into the philosophy of Newcastle. So by the time you get back up there, you guys got a stable base that you can hold your own in the Premiership. Because the problem with the Newcastle fans like that is the fact that they've just been bought. They know the money's there, so they're expecting miracles. And on one hand, you've got them in a position similar to what Man City were when they first got bought, where they were buying bit part players, you know, the builders, the Sturridges, blah blah blah. But it's always going to take time. But when you've seen, you know, City, the past 5-6 years really become the team that we know they could become after being bought. I think Newcastle in that thing, but I think they need to get a stable base, because Ashley's done a number over there in terms of like what he's done at the club. I think they need someone to just come in, start from fresh, build back up again. And I think they'll be all right. So I think if they accept that, I think they're all right.
Well, they accepted that, but timeout is a hard thing to accept, man. And the worst thing.
One more thing on that, Roger.
One
more thing on that. Let's not forget when Chris Hughton took them from the Championship to the Premier League. Was in 6th place.
Yeah, man.
And got rid of him.
Yeah.
And who's it that they brought in now and gave him a 7-year contract?
Pardew.
Yeah. And that hurt me, that did.
Yeah.
From a perspective of the fact that it was, I don't even know if it's fully black or if it's mixed race or whatever the terms that people prefer to use.
Man of colour.
Yeah, it was a man of colour and did such a fantastic job. And they just cast him aside like he didn't matter enough.
That hurt a lot of us.
Oh, that so bad that season. I really did, based on that alone. So I haven't got that. I've got to throw that in there, man.
No. I think like, and this is goes on to another aspect of, we just feel that a lot of black managers do not have the opportunity. Look at Old Trafford. Let's really look at the infrastructure of Man United. It's like it's a white man Fergie club, yeah. So literally all the black players under Fergie are not involved. Yeah,
no,
you know what I'm saying? It's not no Andy Cole, no Dwight York, because Dwight York's begging to get into management. He doesn't even get us. He's the one who said, listen, I want to be a manager. I'm done my coaching badges. I'm applying to jobs. I'm not getting nothing. How many years has that gone? Guys, it's not no coincidence, man. You know what I mean? And Carrick, listen, done a brilliant job. You did your job and you moved off, yeah? But you got all these guys that are all guessworking. Fletcher, guessworking. All these guys guessworking all over the place. And it's just like there's no pathway for black managers and black coaches to go to the next level at all. It's just clear. But yet, they use us as the monsters on the pitch to run around for them and use them. You know what I mean? Let me get all them big black players in so they can physically dominate. I need a Koulibaly in my defense. I need a fast striker. I need to get a black guy. Oh, I need a fast winger. I need to get a black guy. You know, we just get used like that. You know what I mean? But not fully intelligence. But that's a whole other subject, guys, yeah? But guys, I want to get into the subject because obviously we've got Lance here today, guys, yeah? And Lance is he's refed me a few times. You know what I'm saying? And I can start to talk to you about some stories. I remember the first time. Actually, I played against Lance back in the day, still, yeah. And I said, yo, I actually likened him to Les Ferdinand. I said to the guys, yo, that guy come like Les Ferdinand. You know what I'm saying? You know, so he's, you know, a striker. That's when he had hair in it. You know what I mean? I think that was your hair day. Was, you know, he had the little hair job, hair going on. But now, on 100% thing, something that now Lance is the referee and he refs within the Christian League at this moment of time, but I definitely want you to talk about your journey with refereeing, because me and Marcus on the other end, and when we see, and let me put it out there, we're in the black thing here, yes, when you see a black referee, you're like this going, so help me God. You feel like you treat it like a black police officer. You're guaranteed to go to prison no matter what. He'll find a technicality and send you, just so, because we feel like you have to prove that you're not showing any bias against us. And sometimes as black teams, we're like this, oh my gosh, oh goodness sake, you know what I mean? We're not going to get a blind today. But in one sense, we're expecting a blind, but we shouldn't really expect it anyway. So yeah, but just guys, just get it off my chest, man. You know what I mean? What is on here? You know, it has to be, you know, put it on the altar so we can move forward with our skills and gifts. But Lance, just give us your story, because you was playing football, and then all of a sudden you went this refereeing way. That's like becoming a police officer, bro. So just tell us about it, man.
Okay, so I said to Marcus when you just nipped off that I did my coaching badges at Walsall Football Club in 1989.
Okay, cool.
Coaching badge, rather. It was called the FA Prelium then. And that was like the launch pad to your coaching football career. And if you could get a job within the system after you got your coaching badge, it would have been a miracle. It would have been a miracle. So I spent quite a few years working on soccer schools for Villa, Birmingham City, Wolves, Walsall. So I was like a freelance coach, learning on the job, did my badge, that kind of stuff. And what I started to do as well was working with, me and two of the other guys who were working at Walsall formed Walsall Ladies. So we started to train Walsall Ladies and join the league, that kind of stuff. And it was at a level where when we was playing friendlies, no one wanted to ref the games. So I said, yeah, I'll do it. Just give me the whistle. So I realized then, I enjoy doing this. This is all right, this is. So what I was doing, obviously I was playing as well. So I'd play on Saturdays in the Christian League, and then Sunday afternoons I'd ref. So I ended up doing my proper referees exam, went to Stafford, did my exam, passed it, and started to work my way up the ranks. So the time I left the Christian League was after I got promoted. So what we used to have in the referee system was class 1, class 2, class 1, class 2, class 3. 3 was the beginning where you got into it. If you got to class 1, that's when you start to get onto the conference. You can get onto what was the old first division, the old second division, all that kind of stuff. Okay. So that's how it used to be. And then when they did a reshuffling of the pack and when the Premier League started to come to prominence, what they did is I says, right, okay, we're going to go with levels. So you start out as a level 7, okay, and then you work your way forward to hopefully get to the Holy Grail, which is level 1. So I decided I'm going to stop playing now. I was about 33, 34. And I woke up one morning, I said, I don't want to play football no more, I'm done. I'm going to focus on the refereeing. So I was reffing in the Christian League, and then I got promoted from a level 7 to a level 5 after one season. Then I went from a level 5 to a level 4 the following season. So that means when you get to a level 4, the FA tell you where you are going.
Okay.
You go in the computer, you tell them what close dates you have for the next month, and then they will send you fixtures. And some Saturdays, and I'll give you an example. One Saturday morning, I'm lying in bed, the phone goes, it was the FA. I hadn't got a game that Saturday. We want you to go to such and such. Because I hadn't closed it, I had to go.
Wow.
If I didn't go,
yeah.
they put a mark against your name. He ain't serious about this.
So what level? What level is that? What level would what
that
league?
was a level 4.
Level 4.
So
what leagues?
I was reffing. It's below the conference level.
Ooh, okay.
Which is like West Midlands.
It's like Prem, like comp Prem, Midland Comp Prem.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
And then there was the West Midlands was like a rival league at the same time.
Yeah.
So I was reffing on those.
Wow.
And then I was on the line on the conference as a level 4. Then I'd be on FA Prem under 18s on the line, Football League on the line, that kind of stuff. So anyway, I finished high in rankings as a level 4 and got promoted to a level 3, which means that I now start to ref all the academy football, which is a pretty professional setup, that kind of stuff. And I could be reffing on a Saturday afternoon on a combination league, but on Wednesday I could be on the line in the Champions League as a level 3.
Wow.
So a level 3 opens up the door for you
Yeah.
Championship, to get onto the Premier League, and they take it down a route of, is it going to be reffing or is it going to be on the line? So in essence, I could have been on the line on the Premier League, Football League, Championship as a level 3. So here's what a couple of things that I knew I was hitting my head against a brick wall. Okay. The first thing is I went to a refs meeting in Daventry, and by the way, they expect you to turn up for every single refs meeting, whether it's local or national. If you don't turn up, put a tick against your name. I went to everything, up and down the country, killing my engine in my car to get to these meetings. And I remember the very first meeting I walked in Daventry, and I walked in and there were about 350 delegates there. And I looked around and I was thinking, where are the people of colour? 99.9% of the people in the place, male and female, were white. I saw one more black brother and one Asian brother. That's it. I didn't see anything else. And I thought, flipping heck, where are the minorities? Where's that representation?
Yeah, man.
So that was that one thing. Anyway, fast forward now, yeah. I go to a local meeting, I walk in, this is a couple of seasons after. People are coming up to me and saying, well done. I'm saying, well done what? They said, you're in the top 5 in the country. You're in the top 5 for the country for assistant referees. You're going to get Football League. You might even get Championship or Prem. So I turn up at this meeting. I don't know anything about this. So how do they know before me? Is what I've always wondered. Anyway, so you get a letter at the end of the season and they tell you whether you're promoted or not. Okay? Now, you guys will have heard of Sean Massey. Yeah, Sean Massey?
Yeah.
Referee on the Premier League.
Yeah.
Andy Gray and Keys got sacked because they made some derogatory comments about kind of stuff.
Yeah.
She's on the same fitness test as me. Okay, and it's 7 laps of a 400-meter track in 12 minutes. That's a fitness test. So that's some going. That is. That's middle distance.
That's straight up, man. Yeah.
We had to do that every season in order to remain at the level that we're at. By the way, and then they give you about a 5-minute break, and you have to do 2 50-meter sprints in something like 8-9 seconds. Okay. When you turn up, you have to produce your blood pressure test, your heart rate test. You have to get your GP to sign it, and you have to hand it to them because people were dying on the side of the track. But we don't know about that in public, but people are having heart attacks on the track. Anyway, so this day, the fitness test, Sean Massey, I go through through my 7th lap. So I know I'm done, but you're not allowed to stop running. You got to keep running. So I slow my running down and they're shouting, don't stop, don't stop, don't stop. I'm dead at that point. So I look and I'm thinking, my watch is beeping. I'm thinking, why haven't they blown? Why haven't they blown? Because Sean and Massey hadn't got through in the allocated time, right? And there was another guy who was being tipped for Football League, and he was struggling as well. When they finished and got through, that's when they blew, right? And I'm telling you this because it fits in with what I'm saying about that meeting I went to where they're all saying, well done, well done, well done. Anyway, so after, based on everything that everybody said, people shaking my hands, patting me on the back, coming towards the end of the season, I'm expecting a letter from the FA. Nothing. And I actually finished, I think it was either 3rd or 4th in the whole country for assistant referees, right? And they took something like 13 or 14 assistant referees who got promoted to Football League, Championship, Premier League, right? Yours truly wasn't even mentioned. Wasn't even mentioned. Nothing. Sean Massey went Premier League that season. Bearing in mind, Sean Massey's dad is an FA boy. So what I did is I thought, you know what? It ain't going to happen for me. It's obvious that they don't want me there. So I said, I'm going to do one more season at level 3 and I'm dropping back down to 5. I'm going back on the Christian League and I'm just going to enjoy the odd reffing game on a Saturday morning. So I typed up that next season, I typed up a letter, put it in the post to the FA and told them I'm done. And I got a letter back from Neil Barry saying, sorry to hear that you're leaving, blah, 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 all that kind of stuff. But I realized because of the color of my skin, they're not going to move me. And here's the thing, right? Most of the games that you do when you get to a certain level, there's always an assessor there. Do you know what I heard more than anything else? You're a big guy, you command respect on the pitch. What has that got to do with me refereeing a football match?
You're a big black guy.
I heard that time and time again. You know, you can see you've got a presence on the pitch. One guy said, in fact, you remind me of Uriah Rennie. So this is what I was dealing with straight away. It was this kind of racial profiling thing. Oh, he's a big black man, blah, blah, blah. I didn't want to hear about that. I wanted to hear about how I actually performed as a referee. Because the assessors are supposed to come in and give you 3 development points, okay? And they're supposed to give you 3 strengths, okay? And I remember my last season when I knew I was done, it was the last season, I knew I'm done at the level 3. I was on an FA Cup game, just up north. And the assessor came in and I thought to myself, he's talking to my assistants like they're little boys. And I thought, so that means he's going to turn to me and start in a minute. So I'm preparing myself. I'm sitting there. We've still got our ref's kit on. And then he turns to me and I said, I'm going to stop you right there. And he looked shocked. And I said, Neil Barry said, if an assessor comes into your changing room and disrespects, you can ask him to leave. And I said to him, I'm that close to asking you to leave the changing room now because I don't like the way you talk to my assistants. You talk to them like the little children, and I'm not going to put up with you talking to me like I'm a little child, like you're a schoolmaster. I said, so be very careful what you say from this point because I'm on the verge of asking you to leave. I was fed up, man. I ran up and down the country for the FA, north, south, east, and west at the drop of a hat sometimes. And to be honest, I was just a number in a computer. There's the picture, guys. Wow. There's the picture. So is it any surprise that there is so little ethnic representation at top level of football? No surprise whatsoever to me. Because I've been in the system and I've seen how it works.
Yeah, I haven't even been in the system in that way. There was one point where I had looked at doing the refereeing courses and stuff like that, but it was literally just looking very generally from the outside and seeing that there wasn't anybody that, you know, to put it short, looked like me in there, which I thought, you know what, I've been watching football for years and years and I'm not seeing it. So if I invest my time in this, what am I going to be able to actually achieve? And I think that was the deciding factor in me deciding not to go down that route. Man, bro, listen to your story. It's just crazy, man.
Jeez.
That sounds like an absolute nightmare. Yeah, and to be honest, Lance, like, you know, I know you've gone in more detail than you did when we spoke on the phone about this, yeah. But like for me, this is the problem is that we can't keep on moving forward, guys, without details. And this is what happens when you ask yourself, people, why as black men we're kind of resentful to the footballing system, is that it has allowed us, we've just been used by the system, yeah. And ultimately I say never, I never say fully never, but not 100%, but majority of the times, if not 99% of the time, literally, as you've seen there, you expecting that, you know, when you're from Birmingham, you know, or the West Midlands, whenever you go to a place like a conference or something, you're gonna look for your cohort from London. You know, when the man them come from London, you got the 20 man from London all come through, so you expect that to come through and thinking, yeah, man, but to see nobody but yourself, bro. You know what I'm saying? And I think, and to be treated like this, and this is what got Yorkshire messed up. Because they keep on assuming that they're fine with the way they're going on, and they're going on with their colonial ways, yeah, right to this very day. And this is the problem with the FA system as well. It's very colonial. When I reached out to the Christian League about, you know, what you're doing about racism, and I found out, we had to show is that the FA is doing nothing about racism, yeah. It's actually the police. And I went, hold on a second. So you can actually take people to charge, but the FA hasn't put anything hard law. So I'm sure, Lance, if somebody called someone the N-word on the pitch, you would deal, as a black referee, you'll deal with that appropriately, and the FA couldn't touch you. But the reality show is it's down to interpretation. So if you got a white referee, he may give the guy a bly. Yeah, because there's no law to say that in the FA rules says any racial discrimination, yeah, you know, anything that is homophobic, red card, yeah, you know, it's down to interpretation, right down to these levels, and as far as I'm concerned, you know, it's something that Wenger said. Wenger once said that, I was watching an interview with him, and he said that he just wants to see football accessible to all. And football is not accessible to all. You know with our coaching how hard it is for young black people. And he said that not even looking at in terms of the UK, but we're looking in terms of worldwide. He wants talent that are in Africa to have the same accesses if you got that ability, instead of being the 1 out of a million. You know what I'm saying? So it's a case like that still. So it's definitely a crazy one. So for me, it's a hard one. It's a real hard one. You know what I'm saying?
The problem is that even before you step into these kind of careers, the box is already in place for you. Do you know what I'm saying? So as soon as you step in them, you're basically, they've already identified before you even like putting your application form in how far you're going to get. Do you know what I'm saying? Whether you're a referee, coach, whatever. I mean, you've heard me say it once. My brother, he's a coach, done his badges and stuff like that. He's coached under 18s at Brentford. He's done the same thing at West Ham. But when you speak to him, it's very clear that he knows about the levels. He knows about the levels. Even no one said it to him. You can feel it. You can see it around you. It's really crazy. So, and you know, we always talk about, you know, how bad it is not to see managers like, you know, people come through like Ledley King and these guys getting opportunities to manage Dwight York, whatever, right? If we're seeing that on that level, then it's in one respect, it's not surprised you're going to see it on the level with the referees and all that as well. It's the whole system. It's just crazy.
Yeah, and on the back of that, one of the things that I said in discussion with some what I'd call senior referees and stuff is I told them straight, it's an old boys club. Because if your dad was a referee in the 70s and you go down your dad's route and you're white, the chances are you're gonna make it onto the top level. You're gonna get FIFA and you're gonna be doing Champions League, Euros, FA Cups, that kind of stuff. Because there's I can't remember the ref's name. I think he did one of the Man U games Taylor. I was on games with him when he was coming through. Right, so I know a lot of the referees and assistants who've made it to that level because they were coming through when I came through. But here's another observation which I'll throw in there.
Go on.
Uriah Rennie, okay, was supposed to have the FA Cup final.
Yeah.
And it was Alan Wiley who was the first referee who did the League Cup final and the FA Cup final. And the reason why Uriah Rennie didn't get the cup final was because something happened at a Premier League game which the FA weren't happy about, so he got stripped of it. Okay, that's all I'll say about that.
Yeah,
so,
I heard about that.
Exactly. So you think about it now, right?
Yeah.
You know, like on your BT Sports and columns, newspaper columns, that kind of stuff, radio talk shows, the ex-referees are using are all white.
Yeah.
Every one of them, right?
Yeah.
Now, the FA missed a massive trick here because even though Uriah Rennie kind of didn't finish in a blaze of glory like he wanted to, have you heard his name mentioned since he retired from refereeing?
Not at all, bro. Listen, Uriah Rennie was on adverts. I opened up. I used to buy the. Was it Match? What's the name of that football magazine? Or 442? Yeah, back in the day, yeah. And I opened up, and Uriah Rennie's there with, you know what I mean, in an advert, yeah. And he was ready to go for start. He was like him, and who's that Barley brother from Italy? Chiellini, yeah. Them two were like there. Yo, you know, you got the small white guy, little teacher, and you got this tall karate. They said he's plays karate. He does this. He does kickboxing, and you know what I mean. And everyone's scared over him. But again, it just makes the black guy to be. It's not just because of his. He's got to have knowledge of the rules. He's got to know what he's got to be doing. He's got to know how to control people's character. You know what I mean? He can't be going there and said, "Listen, guys, if I'm going to knock it out if you get faced with me." It's not about that. You know what I mean? It's about people, you know what I'm saying? And just because you're intimidating people because of your skin and size, you know what I mean? It's very annoying. But to be honest, bro, these stories need to come out now. Just like in Yorkshire with my guy coming through the system, and the reason why these things have to come out, and you know, people listening in, is people have to realise is that whether it's Christendom, whether it's ignorant white people, you know, and when I say ignorant, you can't just say, oh, just move on, things have changed. It's not, because you can't change anything without knowing what to change. How can you change without knowing what to change? How can how can you make things better? You know, Jim Davidson, I don't know if you remember Jim Davidson, guys. Yeah, unfortunately, he's that guy that did that bad impression of a Jamaican. Now, people use that to be racist against me at school. They used to go, "Hello there, man. My name is Roger Van Moorinho." You did all that stupidness, yeah. And I'm seeing him on YouTube justifying that and saying, "Oh, he just imitated his friends," and he doesn't want to sit down and listen to us to say, "Bro, that opened the door for racial abuse at school," and he can't turn around and said, "Sorry, I offended you. I didn't understand at the time." Cool, I can move on, but I don't want to hear like he's saying now, "Oh, well, this is why I did it. There was no malice in it," but he doesn't know what he caused. You know what I mean? And too often, their ignorance, and again, the whole daddy and child, whether it's boy or girl, coming through the ranks at the sacrifice of quality referees. Bro, you got to number 3 or 4 and then getting robbed like that, bro, and you invested all that time. And then wonder why people don't hate football.
Do you know what? It was after that experience. It was only for the fact that I still enjoyed refereeing why I carried on. Do you know what I mean? Because I heard something the other day, and it was talking about the mental health issues that have been thrown up by youngsters who are rejected from clubs. Every year, every summer, there's a cohort of young people who the clubs say at every level say, "I'm sorry, we're going to have to let you go." A lot of them go into depression after, and they hate football. They don't even go to the matches. They stop watching football because of that experience. But for me, it was a case of, I'm doing this for me, not for them. So I'm going to carry on refereeing.
Good.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like I said before, the FA missed a real trick, because what they should have done with Rennie says, you know what, come and be an ambassador for the FA. Come and be an ambassador. You broke the mold, just like was it Dave Best back in the 70s who, you know, one of the first black players and stuff who was making it at top level. The ones who were throwing bananas on the pitch, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, Colin Best. Is it Colin Best? Dave Best.
Something like that.
Yeah. West Ham, with the West Ham one.
Yes, that one.
Yeah.
And the FA could have used Rennie to start to encourage the next generation of black referees.
Yeah.
To inspire them.
Yeah.
To go in the schools and talk about his experience as a referee, that kind of stuff. But it was a case of, see you later.
Wow.
Do you know what I mean? So if the FA have been being accused of being sexist and institutionally racist. So what did they do after they had this Roots and Branches investigation? They got a woman on the board who was a woman of colour again, and she didn't last very long. So it was almost like it's a token gesture. Get her in there kind of stuff. You know what I mean? And we see it in the coaching. John Barnes has said it many times. There's endless black coaches out there who, like you said already, Roger, have passed their coaching badges. They've been assistants within top level clubs. And John Barnes said something which was interesting. He said, if you're black, you ain't going to get the time a white manager gets.
100%.
You're not going to get the same time. They're going to ship you on long before you've been given a chance to turn it around. And I listened to Paul Ince the other day on the United Stand, and he was saying that people were saying to him with the Blackburn job, don't take it.
Yes.
Where you are.
You develop
a great job here. Stay with this level, take them up another branch, and then perhaps if another opportunity comes, do it. But Paul Ince was just like got straight in there, and I knew he was set up to fail from day one. And he didn't last there 5 minutes. Do you know what I mean? So there is still, for me, a problem that runs like a current, a tidal wave through the FA system, that it's an all boys club, and it reflects in how many black coaches we've got, how many black managers of top level clubs we've got, and also where are the black assistant referees and where are the black referees at top level, because there hasn't been another one since Uri Rennie and the FA.
That was 2008.
There you go. Wow. There you go. Shocking.
And the joke is, like you said, they missed the trick of him, because like last year, I remember there was a massive spread in a load of the newspapers about Uri because he came out saying that it's about time they stopped speaking and actually put words into action. And like he was doing this whole thing where he was trying to get the FA to kind of like fix up and stuff like that last year, and they were not interested clearly in anything that he had to say. It's like let's just let him have his time in the media and just carry your business as usual. So they're just clearly not interested. Because even after he stopped in 2008, for him to come back last year and still be trying to make a big thing and say, look, let's fix this, they're not interested.
Not interested in the slightest.
Absolutely.
Not interested in the slightest.
Absolute ruin there, guys. This is the ruin day, absolute ruin. And I think I want to be honest, guys. I'm gonna obviously the time has kind of gone, because that's a great, you know what I mean, insight lands into that. And I think that, you know, what I am going to be doing is speaking to another friend of mine, he's a family friend. I don't know if you've heard of Herval Hector. He's been doing this stuff, refereeing games over Sandwell sides from when did he start? He was doing it. He's in his. He should be hitting 60s. He should be hitting 60 soon. So yeah, I mean, he's been doing it since I can remember. So since when I was about 10 years old, and he came up at the same time as Uriah, and you know what I mean, and he's talking the same talk as you, and I think this is important. We get this talk out there because nobody else is going to record these testimonies and put them out there. People just putting pure foolishness out there, and pretending like everything's okay. It's not okay. We're still not seeing black referees coming through. me and Marcus ain't encouraged to become a referee. People have choices in very young ages, 19, 18, 20. Do you want me to tell my sons to actually try and be a referee and face all the abuse, this and that and whatever there, but you're going to get all the racial slurs that you get going on? Even when you talk about children's football, the racial slur in children's football, I couldn't believe it when I was there with my son's team, which is we're talking about predominantly white team, and some of the things the children said, and I look at the parents going, what are you saying in front of your children? And you know what I mean? And it's like they said, oh, this that about girl, and you're like thinking, I thought this is how they used to talk when I was at school, and they're still talking like it now. So me, I don't think I could handle seeing that and refereeing that with the kids and dealing with that, because I just don't tolerate it. So it's something that we need to put out there, guys. So I will be put this video, as everybody knows, this is gonna go out on video. It's gonna be evident, unless YouTube's gonna take it down, which they won't. It's a true fact. And Lance, I appreciate you, but Lance, you talk sense today, so we'll have you back on. Don't worry about it, bro. Yeah. you know about sports out there still, yeah. So yeah, I think you passed the test. You know what I'm saying, and. No, because the thing is, what we want to do, you got to be able to take the hard talk as well, bro. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And we get emotional about our football, but the reality of the show is that basically we say it as it is, we see it as it is. You know what I mean? And as black men who's been burnt, but I would say burnt a bit by the system, but we've seen what it is. I think the youngsters need to realise that because they've been told by school that everything's okay. When they come out, and they don't know what they have to struggle. They're not being told that the struggle is real. And we grew up with our parents telling us the struggle is real. These guys are growing up being told that there's no struggle. And then when they hit the struggle, they crash. They go depressed. We're losing our young men. We're losing black men because they don't understand the struggle. Because they're not.
I think because the racism is there in a very different way now. I mean, growing up here, you're talking about our generation that, you know, being chased down the street by a bunch of white boys was a realistic situation.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Where now it's all done on the political level or behind the doors and stuff like that. So you get things like people having those discussions, and then decisions are made, and then before you know it, things are said. So it's not as in your face as the physical stuff was like coming up. So now they all literally, as far as they're concerned, I see just as many black kids in this school as me now. I see this, that. So for them, everything is fine. They don't know about the stuff that's going on unless we tell them about what we come from, and also tell them what this realness is still happening. As far as they're concerned, it's all good.
Crazy. Man, guys, listen, guys. Hopefully, you listen in. We're gonna get more into this, and these are all just setting up so we come out to this pandemic and we can have some great conversations out there in this world. But when I utilize technology, praise God for technology, we can continue to have these conversations out there. Thanks again for listening into this podcast, Lance. Thanks for your time, and Marcus, all day, every day. This is how we do it. I like the way you gone to a blue shirt. Is that hints that Liverpool, Chelsea's gonna win the league? Is that it's a bluish Chelsea? Get me still, yeah. Milan, Milan are doing their things in Serie A right now.
You go with Milan because United are not doing anything right now.
No, I go. He said, me, I've got my continental flex, man. You know what I mean? I like my continental flex, man. I like my inspiration, Ruud Gullit and Rijkaard, them that, back in the day, them big ballers anyway, still, yeah. But listen, guys, thanks again. Listen, guys, this is Roger here on Affinity Xtra. We're here to celebrate gospel music of black origin, what we hear on the Football Vibe alongside Lance and Marcus.
Thanks for watching this content. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can also listen to Affinity Xtra 24/7 at affinityextra.com. Don't forget to follow us as well on all social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter at /Affinity Extra. If you wish to support us, or if you want supporting as an artist, go to our Patreon, which is patreon.com /Affinity Extra, and don't forget to be